You light an oil candle to relax, but your parrot starts wheezing. It's not allergies, it's poisoning. Burning candles can release harmful toxins or strong fragrances into the air, both of which are dangerous for your parrot's sensitive respiratory system, not to mention the dangerous flame which might accidentally burn your bird. So to keep your bird safe, switch to LED candles. You spray an air freshener after cleaning, thinking it's just a nice scent, but to your parrot, it's like inhaling toxic gas. Plug-in and spray air fresheners often contain VOCs, which can linger in the air and cause wheezing, sneezing, or even death. Protecting your bird is simple. Skip the air fresheners and stick with natural ventilation. Overheating non-stick pans releases particles that are deadly to parrots. For your parrot, those Teflon fumes can silently kill them in minutes, even if you're cooking in another room. So make sure to replace your pans with carbon steel or cast iron and ventilate the kitchen while cooking. You smoke by an open window, thinking it's no big deal, but to your parrot, it's a deadly hazard. Smoking releases substances which are extremely toxic to birds and can cause respiratory damage, cancer, and organ damage. The residue can also cling to their body, leading to feather plucking and skin irritation. For your parrot's safety, quit smoking and keep your bird away from smokers. You're fueling up your car while your parrot is nearby. The fumes from gasoline may not bother you much, but for your bird, just breathing them in could cause seizures or even sudden death. Gasoline fumes are highly toxic to parrots, even in well-ventilated areas, so keep your bird away when pumping gas. You're working on a DIY project and open a fresh can of paint in the room. You notice the strong smell, but your parrot starts breathing rapidly and falls off the perch. That's how quickly paint fumes can affect them. Fumes from wet paint contain harmful chemicals that can trigger immediate respiratory distress in birds. Always keep your parrot in a well-ventilated separate area, far from paint and strong odors. You spritz on your favorite scent before heading out, but your parrot nearby gets exposed to fumes that could inflame their air sacs or cause disorientation. Perfumes are made with concentrated alcohols and synthetic chemicals. Birds can't handle these airborne toxins. If you own a parrot, it's best to keep the environment as fragrance-free as possible. You spray pesticide under the sink, assuming your parrot is safe in a different room, but the fumes can move through the air and settle on surfaces, which can still put your bird at risk. Many pesticides contain substances which are lethal to birds even in trace amounts. If your bird shows any unusual signs after possible exposure, get emergency help from an avian vet. You finish shaving and apply lotion while your parrot's on your shoulder. That refreshing scent, it might sting your eyes, but it can burn their airways. Many aftershaves and shaving lotions contain alcohol, menthol, and fragrances, all of which are toxic to birds via inhalation or skin contact. So keep your parrot away when applying any scented personal care products. You're wiping down glass with a window spray while your parrot's in the same room. The fumes might clear up your view, but they're clouding your bird's lungs with toxic chemicals. So put your birds in another place and air out the room before putting them back. You sit down to do your nails with your parrot, watching curiously nearby. Before you're done with the first coat, they're already breathing in chemicals that could make them sick, or worse. Nail polish contains volatile solvents like toluene and formaldehyde. Even small amounts of vapor can overwhelm a parrot's respiratory system. Always do your nails far from your bird and in a separate room. You're fixing a broken toy using super glue while your parrot's in the room. It dries quickly, but those fumes linger, and even a little exposure can cause serious breathing issues. Super glue releases strong fumes as it dries, which can damage a bird's lungs and air sacs. Always use glue away from your bird and ventilate the space well before letting your bird back into the room. You build a DIY playstand using galvanized metal, but after a few days of nibbling, your parrot starts acting sluggish and weak. Galvanized metal is coated with zinc to prevent rust, but if your parrot chews or climbs on it, they can accidentally ingest zinc particles, leading to heavy metal poisoning. Only use bird-safe metals when building anything for your parrot. You toss a few mothballs into the closet to keep bugs out, but your curious parrot flies over, breathes in the fumes, and what's meant to protect clothes could end up poisoning your pet. Mothballs contain naphthalene or paradichlorobenzene, both of which are extremely toxic to birds if inhaled or ingested. Even natural alternatives like cedar blocks or lavender sachets can harm parrots. The safest option is regular cleaning and vacuuming to keep pests away. You're doodling with a permanent marker and your parrot's hanging out nearby. It might seem harmless, but those invisible fumes could irritate their lungs or trigger long-term breathing issues. Scented markers, permanent markers, or dry erase markers release solvents that can irritate or damage parrot respiratory systems. To reduce exposure, use these items in a separate, well-ventilated area or avoid them altogether. Dyeing your hair at home while your bird is in the next room, those strong fumes don't stay put, they drift, and your parrot could end up gasping for air before you even notice. These harmful chemicals can cause breathing problems, skin irritation, poisoning if ingested, and long-term health damage. Even dyed hair can pose risks to parrots unless you're certain there's no residual chemicals or fumes in your hair,